Coming up on City Spotlight, the start of Season 11 continues, and we're on location talking education in two communities. First, we're back in Paris, and we're talking Paris Union School District 95 with new Superintendent of Schools, Mary Morgan Ryan. Mary will tell us a little bit about herself and her goals moving forward for Paris Union 95 schools. Then we head back to Newton and catch up on Jasper County Schools with Superintendent of Schools, Joe Sornberger. Joe fills us in on the latest facility updates with Jasper County Schools, plus his thoughts on the current school year in Jasper County. We're talking education in the communities of Paris and Newton, next on City Spotlight.
It's almost impossible to imagine life without internet today. It keeps us connected to work, school, and loved ones, no matter where they are. Fidium Fiber Internet now serves over 1 million locations, providing reliable, consistent service that keeps these connections strong. From vibrant cities to quiet rural areas, fiber broadband is a key driver of economic growth. Fidium is dedicated to supporting communities and enhancing lives through this essential technology. Learn more at fidiumfiber.com.
And hello and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. We continue the start of Season 11 of City Spotlight and another episode featuring two communities. We're going to talk education in both segments today in two different communities. We're going to start this episode back in a familiar spot, Paris, Illinois, and we're going to talk all about the Paris Union School District number 95, and we welcome first time to the program the new Superintendent of Paris Union School District 95, Mary Morgan Ryan. Mary, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you on. First time in this particular building, the school district offices for Paris Union 95. Glad to have Mary on here as we tape here on September 20th, near the very end of summer 2024. Mary, welcome to the program, and let's introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Fabulous. Yes, of course. My name is Mary Morgan Ryan. I am the superintendent at Paris Union School District 95. This is my first superintendency, and I moved to the Paris community over the summer and started the job on July 1st. So I'm new in many ways, new to this district and new to this community.
Welcome to Paris. You've been on the job just a little over 2 months, so still learning about this school district that encompasses many schools in Paris. I read your bio, kind of from an introductory article of you being hired to the position. You have a very diverse background. Tell us about a little bit of your past before you came to Paris.
Sure. So I come from a military family. My father served in the U.S. Army, and so part of my background is that our family moved quite a bit during my growing up years. So Paris is home now, and I'm used to doing that in my life. Education is a second career for me. I was an attorney, a consumer credit attorney for a number of years, and then moved into education. Became a classroom teacher and then a school librarian before moving into administration. So yes, you're right, a varied background.
And what made you interested in coming to Paris, Illinois?
Well, when the job opening was posted, I started doing some research on the community, and as a matter of fact, I made more than one visit to the community, getting to know the community and deciding whether it was someplace that I wanted to be. And I did some eavesdropping in local restaurants, and I heard nothing but good things about activities that were happening in the community. I saw lots of yard signs supporting the schools, and I overall knew that it was a place that I wanted to be a part of.
Fantastic. Many times to Paris, Illinois here on this program of City Spotlight, and many times talking Paris School. So glad to be talking Paris Union 95 for a second time on this program. I interviewed your predecessor a couple years back, and you are stepping into the school district, if it's safe to say, you have a few things that you have to kind of maybe, I guess, tidy up, maybe if that's okay to safe to say, without going into all the details that probably if someone from Paris is watching, they're probably aware of the things that happen. What challenges do you have right off the bat here for yourself as superintendent?
Sure. So during the past year, there was an interim superintendent, and there was a lot of communication back and forth with the State Board of Education and the Illinois Department of Public Health about some grant funds. We are on the other side of that. We have a corrective action plan. We have repayment plans in place. And so we now know what our financial future looks like. We now know how to plan for the repayments that are required, and we're moving ahead.
Right.
And what I really want people to understand is that while that's going on, we also have very high quality teachers, and we have students who arrive at school ready to learn every day, and wonderful things happen in the classrooms.
Very good. How do you think your previous experiences, as we just had you tell us your diverse background, how do you think your previous experiences have helped you get to this point in this new position you have?
Well, I think it's all coming together. As I mentioned, my background of moving quite a bit has helped me really be able and ready to settle into a new community and reach out to people, make that first move of, hi, I'm new in town and I'd like to introduce myself. That's something that's second nature to me. And also my law background and my background in finance. I actually worked at Harris Bank, which is now BMO, a while ago in their trust division. So all of that is coming to bear on my experience being a really good match. And that's what, when I was considering this job and I was talking to the school board, I said, when I look at what you need and what I have to offer, it seems like a really good fit.
Very good. Thank you very much. And Mary, let's remind our audience at home the many schools that are under the Paris Union 95 district. We have Memorial Elementary, Wenz Elementary, Mayo Middle School, and Paris High School. You have many schools and many staff and students to get acclimated with, don't you?
Yes, yes. We serve pre-K all the way through 12th grade and beyond. So there's a lot going on here. And yes, you're right, a variety of schools and cultures, school cultures.
So you've been on the job a little over 2 months here as we tape again here, September 20th, 2024. What have you learned about the school district in general?
I say I would have confirmed what I thought was the case when I decided to move here. There's enormous community support for the schools. People believe in Paris 95 and are very supportive of the efforts of the teachers. And on the inside, when I've been meeting with staff, people are really proud of what we offer and how we reach out to engage families and support students every day.
If I interview you in about a year from now, the question may have a bit of a different answer because you're just getting started, getting your feet wet. But we are about a month or so into the school year as we tape here. What does the start of a new school year mean to you?
You know, it's been a really exciting time because, of course, for me, everything's new, but that's not the case for everyone else. We repeated an event, the Back to School Bash, and one of the drivers of that is to help our families get connected with community agencies and other parts of the community that could help support them if they need anything. So the high school students pitched in with a bounce house and face painting to make it attractive for people to come, and while they were here we got to connect them with some support. So that was a really exciting thing, and one of the aspects of it that I love is that we were able to offer free back to school haircuts.
Hey.
Right? So everybody can show up to school looking their best.
Fantastic. Who doesn't mind a good haircut?
That's right.
What else have you learned about the community in general? I think you might have answered that already, but in your short time in Paris, Illinois, in general, what else have you learned about the community?
There's a real sense of community pride. I am able to, because of the connection to the school district, I'm able to serve on the board of the Paris Center of Fine Arts. Right. And I've been really impressed with not only sort of the season's offerings, but the dedication of the community members who serve on that board. Yeah. Yes, and just yesterday I was meeting with the public health department and reaching out and getting to know people. I really feel that sense of pride of place.
Fantastic. As you continue on, starting to learn this community a little bit more and this school district, share with us any short-term or long-term goals you have for the school district.
Well, one of the things that we're working on as a school district is a program called Leader in Me.
Yes.
And we are a Leader in Me district here, and our elementary and middle schools have been working and continue to work on that. It's a social emotional learning aspect of our day in school, and it's based on the Covey 7 habits for highly effective people, right? Mm-hmm. And what we're seeing is a growth in students understanding that everyone's a leader, mm-hmm. and everyone has responsibility for our school community, and including everyone and supporting their colleagues. We're really seeing growth in that area.
Fantastic. I know it's being utilized in a few other communities, so it seems to be working,
Yes.
Not just for those, but obviously it's now in Paris, Illinois. I typically ask superintendents when I come back on, has there been any, and I know you're just getting your feet wet here, have there been any building upgrades that you know of that have transpired recently before you got here, or that are on the docket that you're looking toward completing?
Mm-hmm. We did do some work over the summer. We not very glamorous, but we put some new windows and new doors in,
Hey, those are
appropriate
noticeable.
for school safety. Yes.
And where were those done at?
Our elementary buildings.
Beautiful.
So we've got
Wonderful.
that done, and we are in the process of getting solar panels installed on the roofs of our buildings.
Seems to be a trendy thing right now.
Mm-hmm. And so we are, going to be generating electricity, and we'll get a discounted rate because of that.
Very good. I know a community not too far from here to the north. They kind of have invested in that solar as well. Mary, I don't have a whole lot of questions left to ask. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us at this time, coming to Paris, Illinois, and leading the school district?
Sure. Well, one of the things that also happened over the summer, which wasn't a building improvement, is that one of our schools, Carolyn Wentz Elementary, was awarded the Thrive Award by greatschools.org.
Wonderful.
And that's based on the results from the 5 Essential Survey, which is done every year. Parents and students and teachers all respond to the survey about the school culture and climate. And so we're really proud of the staff and leadership at Wentz and the students and families, because they've created something really special over there, and that award really reinforces that.
Well, good to end the segment on a happy
Absolutely.
note. Awards and accolades are always great to share anywhere. Mary Morgan Ryan, the new superintendent of Paris Union 95 School District, 95, excuse me. Thank you for your time and welcome to Paris. We look forward to catching up with you down the road.
I look forward to that too.
Thank you very much. Pleasure. And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll continue talking education, but in another community. We'll head down south to Newton, Illinois, and catch up on Jasper County Schools. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Paris and Newton. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this latest City Spotlight episode here in season 11, featuring 2 communities. We've changed locations from Paris, traveled down south back to a familiar spot, Newton in Jasper County. And in this segment, we're going to continue talking education, this time Jasper County Schools. And to help us out, we welcome a familiar face back to the program, Joe Sornberger, Superintendent of Jasper County Schools. Joe, great to see you again.
Great to see you. Glad to have you back down here in our Jasper County, Newton area.
Glad to be back in Jasper County and in a new building for Jasper County Schools. You've moved a little bit further south in Newton, and tell us about this new facility for Jasper County Schools.
So the building was used to be the Sunrise Center in Newton, and it was owned by our community, and the community at one point in time looked to sell the building off, and the building was sold to the district. The building had sat empty for a while, and then when I got here, we discussed building and grounds. One of the biggest things we've talked about in our strategic objectives is building and grounds, and what we're going to do with buildings and how those buildings work. And we had a unit office. It had been the unit office for years.
Mm-hmm.
The building was built in the 1950s.
Right.
This building was built in the 1990s.
Okay.
So we had a decision to make. If we have buildings and we have them in our district, we need to use them. So the board ultimately voted to make this the new unit office.
Mm-hmm.
It's a building that has a gym, which gives us opportunities for our kids to come in and be a part and use the gym when we don't have gym space in our other buildings, which is something that we struggle with here at Jasper County is gym space. But we've been able to allow our softball teams in to use it, our tennis teams in to use it. And right now, as we film this, we have our community pickleball group. They're in on Tuesdays and Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. It kind of rotates, but they come in and there's about 10 to 12 of them, and they play pickleball, and then they go about their day. So making the move to this building has been a good one. The building's in better shape than the other building we had, and it's up to date, and we now have a building that we probably will not have to do major renovation to for the next 20 years.
First tape with Joe back February of 2023. So you made the move here. Was it the previous school year, or did you just make the move?
No, previous school year. It was a little shortly after the start of my second year.
Great.
And our guys were awesome. Our maintenance guys were unbelievable in putting this together, and here we are. And it's a beautiful, beautiful setup for offices for our school district.
And just from traveling over here and parking, the building does look noticeably bigger than the previous building you were in. So anything else you'd like to add about what it provides for the district moving forward?
I just think I think originally the building was put together by our community to bring people together. And when the building was sold to us, that opportunity was kind of at a stalemate until we've moved into this building now. So originally the building was brought together by the community to have community things, and that's what our goal is, and that's what we're going to continue to do with our buildings. And anyone that wants to use it for community purpose just needs to get a hold of us, and we'll be glad to help them out to do so.
Fantastic. All right. New building for Jasper County Schools here on the southern part of Newton. Let's follow up on some things we talked about with you the first time we had you on about 18 months ago. You talked about getting HVAC systems into your Newton buildings.
So, 18 months ago we had that conversation, and that summer we were ready to go. But the problem we had with a lot of things going on in construction these days is that our AC units, we couldn't get enough of them to finish the project. So, with that being said, that project just finished at the beginning of this school year.
Oh, wow.
So right now, a couple of the things that we've been working on is making sure that we have quality air systems in our schools in Newton. That was something we hadn't had before. Our buildings did not have what would be considered an HVAC system. It was basically window air conditioners, in some cases rooftop units. This last summer, starting right at the end of school in May until right up to the beginning of school in August, we've been working on a $4.75 million HVAC project, which is now complete.
Wow, congratulations.
And it's awesome because, before our kids would go into our classrooms at the elementary and you'd have those window air conditioners running and it'd be loud and the teachers would have to talk over everything. Now they don't have those issues. At the high school, our high school gym has never been to air conditioning.
Wow.
Right. So when you have graduation in May and it's extremely hot, or the first volleyball game of the year where you're sitting in the seats sweating to death, those problems are not there now, and we're excited about that and being able to give that to our community. And now when people look at our school district, they can't say we don't have HVAC, because we do.
Talked about in recent episodes about that very issue. If you grew up in Central Illinois or anywhere in those warm early starter months or even the graduations, I remember experiencing a very warm graduation in my alma mater of Charleston. So what a great present, I guess, to the students now and moving forward to have working air conditioning. Very good. Roofing was also another thing that you mentioned moving forward back when we first taped February of 2023. What's the latest on that?
So the high school, we have the majority of the roofs done. We have one roofing project which is actually up for the board meeting tonight that we have.
Okay.
So we're going to be discussing that. And then we will be looking at our roofs at the elementary building. Basically, we're looking at a tear-off recoating of those. But with that being said, our buildings, one of the things we have to do is we have to continue to take care of what we got.
Right.
So by doing so, we've looked at fixing the roofs, which has been a priority because when water comes on our roofs and it leaks, it comes into our buildings. We've looked at the HVAC, as I mentioned before, because we haven't had airflow in our buildings like we could have. So those major areas of any building we've tackled in the last couple of years. So by the end of this year, we will have new roofs in all our buildings in Newton and new HVAC systems. So pretty exciting. A lot of money to get those taken care of, but the board has prioritized these, and we've been able to use the funds to leverage to get these things done. So it's been pretty exciting.
School districts, as we've learned on this program for now a decade, Not every school district has the luxury of building a brand new building, so you have to maintain, and that's exactly what you're doing for the future HVAC systems and roofs. That's certainly a major step forward in preserving those buildings. Before we went on the air, I was reminded of your first time and your predecessor's time, so this is our third time talking Jasper County Schools. It mentioned moving forward in the future about the elementary school there in St. Marie and maybe getting those kids down the road, all the kids into Newton.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that, like I said, that has been a conversation piece. We've talked building a lot in the last couple of years. The idea of moving people from St. Marie to Newton has not been, it's been a topic and it's been talked about, and then it has died off, and it's been talked about and it's died off. I believe this board has the goal ultimately to get that building here. We've been working through our strategic objectives on buildings to put money aside to help with that process, and also leverage grants that will allow us to build an addition on Newton Elementary School.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you move kids from one building, so do you currently have the space to house however many kids attend St. Marie?
So right now we would have the ability, there's a couple ideas of how we could do that, but right now the one that we're leaning to is to put addition onto the east side of Newton Elementary, which we own land that goes to a designated fence area.
Good.
So we have room to put in 6 to 8 classrooms and some office space there. We are working through an energy community partnership grant that allows us to have them help fund us to do the research portion of it, the architect designs, walkthrough and that. And then that same grant could be used up for the next 10 years to help with the building process and things like that. So that grant is made to us because the Newton Power Plant is closing in 2027. It's part of a state grant through energy, and so we're hoping to have an idea of what that will look like by the end of this school year, and hopefully put out bids to build that addition, and then we will be able to have our little ones, our pre-Ks and our Ks, just coming to Newton to school, which will be beneficial for everyone.
All under one roof. Very good. So you just kind of talked about something that you definitely wanted to point out was grants. Any other grants? And maybe explain for our audience that may not think about, how does school district use grants? How do grants and the grants that specifically you're trying to allocate or use right now, how do they benefit and help the school district?
So, I think the thing that we have to understand about grants, especially grants in Illinois and even federal grants at that level, those grants come about through taxes. And here's the thing, and this is what I've said, and I know we've talked about this at the city level and the county level with the grants they're trying to use also. We have two options. We can apply for grants or we can't, or we don't. If we apply and get it, then that is tax money that is coming back to Jasper County that wouldn't otherwise. So some of the grants that we've used recently, we've used a community partnership grant. With that, we've been able to allow to help with the fairgrounds and 4-H, getting them a portable restroom out there. One of the biggest things we have out there is accessibility for our people that go out to the fairground and our kids. The portable bathrooms can be hauled anywhere around the fairgrounds to any event. They're handicap accessible, and our kids and community can use them. We worked with the community partnership grant to help the baseball field. They needed some updates, a redo of the softball diamond, turf at home plate and on the mound. So those areas don't, it's an upkeep thing, and our kids can play on it no matter what the weather is. We've also used it to build a greenhouse at Newton Community High School.
Awesome.
So those grants help to fund things that we may not have been able to fund otherwise without utilizing those grants to the fullest of our ability. And in my perspective is we need to continue to do that, because the more grant money that we bring in, the more things we can offer to our community and or our students.
In our last minute, Joe, thank you for all that. A lot going on as far as facilities and grants in Jasper County, so a lot in the works and moving forward. We are taping here on near the end of September, second day of fall, 2024. About a month into the school year. How's it going?
It's been a good school year. It's great to get all the kids back and get activities and things going. Get the teachers in and just see our kids learning things in and out of the classroom. So it's been a good start to the year. No complaints here, and we hope to continue forward this year and continue all the great things that go on in the Jasper County School District.
All right, Thank you very much, Joe. We've been talking education in this episode in the communities of Paris and Newton. Thanks for the time here in this segment. Joe Sornberger, Jasper County Schools Superintendent. Joe, great to have you on a second time. Thanks to you for updating us on the latest going on with Jasper County Schools.
Appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that'll do it for our latest City Spotlight episode featuring the communities of Paris and Newton. Thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning in to City Spotlight. You can check out past episodes, including the one you're watching right now, on YouTube. To check out recent episodes of Central and Southeastern Illinois towns featured on City Spotlight, search on YouTube, City Spotlight, with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the last 5 episodes of City Spotlight.
It's almost impossible to imagine life without internet today. It keeps us connected to work, school, and loved ones, no matter where they are. Fidium Fiber Internet now serves over 1 million locations, providing reliable, consistent service that keeps these connections strong. From vibrant cities to quiet rural areas, fiber broadband is a key driver of economic growth. Fidium is dedicated to supporting communities and enhancing lives through this essential technology. Learn more at fidiumfiber.com.